I went there for mathematics. Then after 1 year, basically nobody can support me to finish my degree. So at age 19, give or take, that's when I decided I'm gonna do the whole thing myself.
Today, super excited to sit down with Hamzah, immigrant from Jordan, multiple business owner, investor, and overall close friends. Hamzah, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah, excited to have you. So Hamzah, tell us a little bit about your story, all the way from Jordan to America. You know I'm passionate about immigration and immigrants, so tell me about your story. What made you want to come to America? Did you always know you were going to come to America?
So maybe since high school, I knew that one day I'm gonna be coming here. It just happened, Jordan has one airport, and the city where I'm from is too close to the airport.
Okay.
All the flight that come to United States, they happen to fly over our house around 4 a.m. in the morning.
4 a.m.
Yep. So every morning, like, when I was studying for high school, in the Middle East, high school is a big deal.
Yeah, it
Like,
determines your whole future.
Your future, yeah. So in high school, I didn't sleep. Basically, I used to stay up all night trying to do my best to pass the Tawjihi, which is the high school. And it just happened that all the flights
Goes by your house.
Yep. So one day I always looked through the windows facing west, and I could see the flight coming to the United States. So in my room, I had a plan, like kind of like in jail, when you write things in the wall.
The days, you're counting the days.
So it was 1999. So I know like 2005 where I want to be, 2010, 15, 20. So I had the plan all the way to 20 where I'm going to be. Funny story is I put the plan that, 2010 I'll be in the United States, finishing my PhD, my master degree, PhD, all of it. So anyway, it just happened that, that's how all that started. I remember in Jordan, they have radio channel. After midnight, all they play is American music. And one of my first songs, I believe it's Money in the Power in the Money, and the Money, minute after minute, hour after hour.
Yeah.
So that one of my first American song. I learned English by just watching movies, Braveheart.
So you didn't take English in like school or like just basic English?
In Jordan and the Middle East back then, they teach English after the 5th or 6th grade. And most likely the teachers are non-fluent, non-American. So even when they teach you the language, you might be good in grammar, writing, and vocabulary, but, accent-wise, you've been taught by non-native Americans, so you always have an accent, right?
Yeah.
Not to blame them, but, it wasn't my passion to, to be fluent in English. But in any case, after I finished high school, then I went to a university far away from my hometown. I went there for mathematics. Then after 1 year, basically nobody can support me to finish my degree. So at age 19, give or take, that's when I decided I'm gonna do the whole thing myself. So I did everything you can imagine. I did all kind of works in Jordan. I always have a vision that, there's always an opportunity, but you have to look for it. You have to chase it. When other people my age at that time, they always ask for their parents for them to hold them for tuition and whatever. I never believed in that. I said, I'm going to do it myself. Funny story, back then, the first school I attended, you pay your tuition each semester. It was like 200 GD, which is like $300. When I did it myself, it was a private school. Each semester was like 5 times. So almost 1,000 GD.
Because it's private, so it's a lot more money.
So I used to work 3 jobs.
To be able to pay for school.
Yes. And I was in the dean list and auto list because now it's my money.
Yeah.
That's me.
Paying for school.
Exactly. And it just happened that, I go for 1 semester, then a business opportunity arise. And then I said, you know what, I'm going to save that $1,000 and then we're going to do something else. So it took me from 1999 all the way till 2006 to get my degree, and I never finished. Bachelor degree.
Okay.
Initially was mathematics, and I switched to go for computer science in the private school. So before I came here, I used to have 3 jobs. One, in the morning, I was a translator with an American company in Jordan. Then I go to the evening program for my school for computer science. And then I finish, let's say, 8, 9 o'clock with my last class. Then I go to an internet cafe. Back then, there was no internet.
The cyber.
Yeah, because, back then they don't have internet at the house, whatever.
Were you working in the internet cafe or were you
in the internet cafe? I was like, because I don't have a computer in my house. I don't have internet. So the only way for me to keep up, do programming, printing paperwork, looking up things. So I had to go to an internet cafe. Initially, I was there just as a client. Then initially I seen an opportunity, like a lot of people who go there, they play games all night. I remember Counter-Strike is one of the first games.
Medal of Honor, Counter-Strike.
Right, yeah.
GTA,
and I
there's a
used to
lot.
have headphones in my head all the time,
Yeah,
like unbelievable, like talking 12, 13, 14 hours a day. That's why I don't wear headphones anymore, because
it
I
just
almost lost my hearing because how much I used to wear them. But the idea is, when I went to the internet cafe, I seen an opportunity that, instead of me spending money, why don't I just offer them a service? I could do the computer, monitor the network, and all of that, which is something related to my school. But at the same time, the people who stay there all night, they are kind of addicts. Like, they come at 8
yeah,
p.m. and they stay till 4 a.m. in the morning.
yeah, like an escape, something they escaped life
Right,
from,
and
video
because they
games.
want to talk with people from different countries because of the time difference. So midnight is like 8, 9 p.m. here, or
Yeah,
whatever. So the idea, I open a cafe shop in there to serve like
and you
sandwiches.
dropped out of school.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, when I seen an opportunity that I'm making $50, $60 a day.
You were like, why would I go to school then? I
Right.
can make money and just
Well,
start
yeah,
that.
to save more, maybe I don't have to take because, it was a challenge when you go for something like
Yeah.
computer science. Things change every day.
And
right?
you're working full time, supporting yourself.
Right.
So you saw a shortcut.
Yeah, I
can
used to live by myself. After age
Yeah.
18, I moved to Amman, the capital.
Yeah.
I used to have a big apartment by myself, and the funny thing, I don't even have furniture. It says I have furniture only in one room,
Yeah.
and the rest of the place, I
Just
never
empty.
believed in roommates, none of that. I always was self-independent, man.
Gotcha.
So,
So you left there. You had the American dream, like come to America.
yes. So I said, you know what, let me finish my degree, whatever. And then what happened is, I have one semester left. I got an opportunity to come here as a student visa, J1. And then I have
It's funny. I came as a J1 too. We
Yeah.
both came as a J1.
And this is the funniest story ever, man. I have 850 GD in my pocket, right? Now in Jordan, in private school, you're not allowed to get to your final exams till you have zero balance in your tuition.
Okay. So you owed 850?
Yeah, that's my last semester. I'm about to graduate. I'm doing my finals.
Okay.
Right.
But you need to pay $850 to graduate.
So I didn't pay, because I said, what if I get my visa? Who's going to pay for my ticket?
So you took the chance to get the visa, come to America, instead of having your
This
degree.
is what happened. So I go to the first exam, and they have security in front
Right.
of the door, whatever. So my neighbor used to be like one of the security guard in the school.
Mhm.
He said, you know what, I'll let you in this time. Don't worry about paying. So I went for the first exam. Everything was cool. Second exam, 2 days after, I go there. He's not there. The guy said, where's the paperwork that you paid? Go to the financial department and there first. So where we have the exams and the department where you pay your funds and tuition is like 10 minutes walk. I'm walking, then my phone rings. I used to have Nokia 310, the one with the snake and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then the lady started talking in Arabic. She says, congratulations, you got your visa. We're going to send it to you by mail, or you could come pick it up. I said, how do I know you're not bullshitting? She said, well, I could tell you in English. I said, okay. I'm coming from where I have to take my exam to go to the financial institution to pay my tuition. I get the phone call, and instead of going there, I go to the main gate. I took a cab, and I went to get my visa, and I left Jordan.
Going to America.
Well, no, not the plan wasn't to come, to stay here forever. But I said, you know what, I'm just gonna try this. So the 850 paid for my, you have to have so much money when you come as a J1 visa. So you pay for.
Plus, you're coming to a new country,
right?
So 850 Jordanian is how
almost $1,500-$1,600.
Okay.
So that was enough for the 500. As a student, you have to have minimum $500 with you, and then you have to pay for a two-way ticket.
Okay.
So it was just enough, right?
So it was barely enough. So did you have any money coming into America?
Nope.
Zero.
That's at $500. That's all I have.
Okay.
That's the minimum they require you to come as a J1 visa.
So you had $500 in your pocket when you came. How old were you then?
25.
25. You landed in America.
June 25th.
Have $500 in your pocket.
I landed in JFK, and I hated that airport. I would never fly there. I flew through that airport one time.
Why?
20 years. Because when we landed, it was a horrible story, man. So the company who hired us as a J1 visa, because you're supposed to come here to work for a couple of months and you travel.
Yeah.
Then what happened is we stayed in Manhattan. We got our paperwork, the social security card, and all of that. And then me and the guys, because we're all international students from Egypt, Jordan, Ukraine, whatever. We stayed in a big hotel in Manhattan. Very expensive, but we stayed there for 1 week to get our paperwork.
Yeah.
Then we spread apart. Homeover is going to Florida,
right,
Virginia, whatever. So the idea is we get in a shuttle bus to go to the airport. I carry his luggages. He forgot to carry my carry-on. One of the guys.
One of the guys?
One of the guys. So halfway through, a lady was sitting next to me, and I remember she was singing a Jordanian song. Hell is this? How do you know all of
She's
that?
American?
She is actually German, and she studied political science in New York, and she has her master's degree. But then we start
She's
talking
cultured,
and
yeah.
whatever.
And the bag is gone.
Then she asked me what kind of visa I have. Then I'm looking to grab it, and boom, I don't have nothing.
Wow.
Now the shuttle bus not allowed to stop in the highway. After many attempts, finally he dropped me off. Now all I have, roughly $400. I get right in the highway. And the funny story, I didn't know there was black cars that, as you know, a cap in the United States. Back then, I thought they were the mafia. All I know, from the movies,
The black limousine,
black limousine is mafia. So anyway, a lot of cars go by. They blow the horn. I thought they were like, what? Then I stopped the yellow cab. Finally, guy stopped, and that's the first time I know what fender bender mean. So I get in the car because he's not allowed to stop on the highway, but he did. He took the risk. He took me. I get in the car. Boom! Another car hit him. So anyway, I didn't know. I said, okay, this is like Jordan.
It's first week in America.
Oh yeah, and a lot of things happen, man. So I said, okay, this is like Jordan or Egypt. Now they're gonna call the cops, whatever. I didn't know. 2 minutes, he went outside. They yell at each other, whatever. They exchanged some stuff. I have no idea what's going on in this. Okay, let's go. He was an Indian. So anyway, he get me to the hotel. I get, thankfully, my bag is there. I had $100 there just as a backup, right? And I have 300 with me. Paid him roughly $75 to get me there. Took me back to the airport. I get there. Now I don't know where my luggage is. I missed the flight. Spend another $100. Short story. Next morning, I get on the shuttle bus. I didn't sleep all night because I don't want to miss my flight. Yeah. I get to Florida, Orlando, midnight. I have $50 in my pocket.
So till you got to your final destination, after all that mess, trying to figure it out, you have $50 in your pocket.
Orlando Airport. I took a cab. Before I took the cab, I told him I need to go to this address. It's an International Drive next to Disneyland and all of that. That's where
you gonna have a job.
Yeah.
So what was that job? So now
working in hotels, laundry, whatever. But again, I have $50. I took the cab. The minute I got to the hotel, the total was $49.70.
So you had 30 cents in your pocket.
I gave it to him as a...
So start of the story.
I started zero.
So you're in Orlando, no money. In America,
$0.
Okay, so how did you figure that out?
So I get there, a guy from Morocco. He owned a pizza shop that he does delivery after midnight to a lot of hotels in there. Because, it's a vacation spot. And a lot of people after midnight, the hotels, they don't offer any food. So anyway, the job he offered, he gave you flyers.
So you went looking for a job?
He offered the job. He said, you work $10 an hour, 10 hours a day. You start at noon till 7, 8 p.m.
Just dropping flyers?
Drop flyers. If he get calls from the block where you drop the flyers, you hire the next day. If he doesn't get any calls, that's mean you didn't do your flyers, because some of them, they would just throw the flyers in the garbage, whatever. And I did a couple trace passing, like, the security in the hotels, whatever. They will not allow you to do that. So I did that for roughly a month.
Okay.
And that's how it started. Then the company got us a job. And I started from there, but I was making $100 day one.
$100 a day.
A day, yep, that's my goal.
I heard that so many times back then. If you're not making $100 a day, you shouldn't be here. Like, I remember when I was working in a restaurant, one guy was like, "You gotta hit the 100." I was like, "What are you talking about?" He was like, "A day here should be worth $100." Back then, it was a saying between people, like, your day, if you're working in restaurants or you work in any job, you should average $100 a day.
Back to when I was in Jordan, when I started doing my own thing and pay for my own tuition, and a guy I met, he was here, he was born in the United States, so he spoke no Arabic. So I made a deal with him that I teach him Arabic, he teach me English. Okay. Right? And we were very good friends. He told me, because he lived all his life in the United States in one of the worst neighborhoods in the United States. Him and his dad used to own convenience stores and all of that. He said, if you make it in Jordan, you could make it anywhere in the world. So if you don't make it in the United States and you don't succeed in here, you're not going to succeed anywhere else. This is the land of opportunity. Yes, it takes a lot of you, but also forwarding like a few months after that, I thought, I came to the United States, I go to any college and I get my degree, boom, I get my master, boom, everything is good. I go to Penn State, try to get to the school. The lady met with me and she said, yeah, you could join tomorrow. It's okay. She said, you are an international student. Your tuition would be $140,000 a year. I said, what? I left that place crying. The lady,
you thought you will never make it. Like, I will never get 140.
Well, the American dream was not the American dream.
Because you were basing the American dream. You were basing the
I thought the
American dream
tuition was free. Like
on going to college and getting a degree.
yes, yeah.
That's what you knew
My
back
goal
then.
was never business. It was
Okay.
just to get
You
my
still
degree.
don't know anything about business. Get the
Zero.
degree, just like me
Well,
coming here.
I used to hustle in Jordan to make money to go to college, right?
The end goal is go to college, get a degree, and then
Yeah.
you made it.
The end goal was to be a professor to teach mathematics. That was the end goal all along, right? Then I switched to computer science because better job opportunities. Then English came in the way. Then
Yeah.
side hustles, cafes, small businesses in Jordan, sales, door to door, whatever it took.
To
Right.
go to college, whatever
Yeah.
you can make money, so you can pay your tuition,
Yes,
so you can
to
go,
get to
so
the
you can
end goal.
graduate and get
Yeah.
a career and live
Exactly.
the dream. That was the dream then.
Right. No, even when I was going to college in Jordan, I have side hustle to make more money. I never asked anybody money. I was paying my tuition, always pay for my own apartment, all of that, right? But the idea is in the United States, when I get here, you thought it's an easy way to get where you want. It is. Because I already did the hard work in Jordan. I said, okay, go to the United States now. I'm going to take a break, American dream. I go to college, tuition is free, life is good.
You found out tuition is not free.
Find out.
140K.
So here's
So what was the plan then?
So the turning point was, after the, J1, they give you 3 months. I came to Ohio to visit some family members that they knew my family there. I was planning to go back. I have 1 month left. And the guy who hired me in a convenience store, he said, try it out. Try it for a month, save the money, go back and finish your degree.
So you figure out you're not going to go to school here. It's too expensive. So you're like, okay, I'll go get a job, stay here till the visa
The lady
ends,
who gave me a ride back, she used to be a lawyer assistant. She said, Hamzah, she felt bad because I was very upset that day. She said, to succeed in America, it's going to take blood, sweat, and tears. And I never knew what that meant till I actually went through all these stages. You have to go through all of that.
Sweat,
blood, sweat, and tears. It took all three of them. Blood, I almost died a couple times. Robbery in Florida, robbery in the convenience store. Almost died. Sweat, you always sweat. I used to work 18 hours a day in a convenience store.
Okay, so let's go back to this.
And tears because, sometimes you always feel like you're failing. The minute you feel that you're failing, that's actually a sign that you're about to succeed. And the minute that you have a lot of enemies from nowhere, that's the flag. No, that's the flag that you actually succeeded. Because if you have no enemies and all of a sudden people doesn't like you for no reason. Because when I opened my first business.
Yeah, let's get back to the business here in a second.
Yeah.
So you're working, you stayed in America, just working average jobs in community stores, normal jobs. I want to know how you transitioned from working normal jobs to now owning multiple businesses and all that. So what was the switch there? So were you working at a company? I know you worked for a company for a while too, a corporate, just like I did.
Right.
And then you transitioned. So I want to talk about these transitions.
But before I get to that, the turning point for me in those 3 months, I had to make a decision. Should I go back to Jordan and finish my degree, or should I give the United States a chance?
Okay.
In my mind, okay, in Jordan, whatever you do, you're always in negative. Doesn't matter how many jobs you do. You barely make it. I said, you know what? Let me give it the same energy and see what happened. 2 months, I was able to buy a van. I saved the money. I saved $3,000.
Just working regular jobs.
$7 an hour,
minimum wage.
Minimum wage, whatever.
You saved, you got a van.
Yep. Went back to college in here, did my degree again.
So you still went and got the college.
Yeah.
And did you take student loans?
I did.
Okay. So
and my bank shut my account after I graduated because I paid my student loans in 1 year.
So how did you do that?
I tell you. So I graduated high school. I finished, graduated from community college because it was cheaper. Then I went to college. The last year, I didn't do the average stuff. My last year was all major classes. Slippery Rock University. So I did 18 hours, 9 hours, 18 hours, and I graduated. I never slept, man. I quit smoking. I was eating McDonald's.
So what about working?
I was working 40 hours, but I didn't have enough money because I used to work 50, 60, 80 hours to be able to support me and my wife, the house, the rent, and all of that. But when I went to school for the last year,
you had to get a pay cut.
Right? And I have to cut other stuff. Like we cut the internet. I think the internet is the only thing we kept.
Everything else went down.
Everything. Yeah, I sold my car. I took a loan in my car too, to be able to. And my student loans.
Credit cards probably maxed out.
Everything, man. I when I finished school, 2012, because it took me a minute to get there. So I landed here 2006. Took 6 years to be able to go back to college. 2012 when I
Yeah,
graduated.
immigrant, starting with negative, don't know anything
Right,
about the
you know,
United States.
you know.
It took some time. Graduated, right? You made it through school. You took student loans. There's no way you can pay. A lot of people say there's no way you can pay all the student loans in 1 year working a regular job. How did
Right.
you do it?
So I got my job in the company.
Okay.
Very good pay, benefits, everything. But again, my paycheck was like $1,500 every 2 weeks.
Okay, so making $3,000 a month,
Right.
corporate.
But I didn't do the
Very good.
normal stuff, man. The company was paying overtime in the weekends. They're paying differential if you work in the weekends. I always work the weekends. I never took Saturday, Sunday off. Never. I worked there for 2 years. I maxed out in my 401k. And a few months after, I said, okay, I'm still struggling.
Yeah, you have student loans, you have a family, you have
Yeah, I wasn't.
gas, you
Yeah.
have life.
So I met this guy. He's Egyptian, by the way. Been here for like all his life. I said, it's not working. I'm busting my ass somewhere. He said, what do you do? I said, I go to work 8 hours. I drive 2 hours, but I'm still, I barely make it. He said, the only way to save money, to make more money.
So your mind then was thinking, I gotta cut bills, stop spending.
That was the turning point. Where I met him is 40 minutes away from my house. All the way from what he told me that till I get home, I'm repeating this in my
Yeah,
head.
because your mind again was thinking, cut stuff, cut stuff. He came and changed that. Don't cut anything.
Changed
make
my
more
mindset.
money.
Yep. He said the only way to save money to make more money. I've been repeating that.
That's very true.
I repeat
It's very true if you think about it now. Because I used to think the same way too.
40 minutes, Omar, from when he had a convenience store at the time. I'm going back home 7 p.m. I get home like 7:45. All that 45 minutes, no
Make more money, make more
the
money.
only way to save money to make more money. The only way to save money
is to
make
make
more money.
Yeah.
The only way to save money to make more money. So I go home. I used to have a lot of computers laying around and stuff. So next morning I go to a pawn shop. They have an alien computer. I said, how much you want for it? He said, $250. I said, what about $150?
Start negotiating.
He said, yeah. I take that computer, took it home, format the hard drive, whatever.
What's an alien computer?
It's like a gaming computer.
Okay.
So anyway, it's a small computer. Got it fixed. It didn't need anything. Just basically download the operating system, whatever. Clean it up. Go on eBay. I have an eBay account for a long time. Never used it. I listed it for $1,200.
From 150 to 1,200.
That was my first $1,000. I said, okay.
Were you still working the full-time job?
Yes.
Okay.
But that's the last time I touched my paycheck, almost.
Okay.
For 2 years, I didn't touch my paycheck. And for 2 years, whatever they allow me to do in, Roth account, IRA, I was maxing out because they do 1-to-1.
So when you mean, because that's a very important part, you didn't touch your paycheck. So all your expenses,
like we were
the side hustle.
Exactly. 2,200 to 3,000 a month. We used to live in a small house, one vehicle.
About, you said 23 to 3,000 a month was the life expenses. You,
exactly.
Your wife, rent,
cigarettes, food, whatever. Roughly 3,000. We don't have
all that coming from the side hustle, flipping computers.
Yeah, whatever
hustling,
it takes. Yep.
And then the paycheck at the company was staying.
Yep.
You were saving it.
Yep. Year one, I go to my bank and say I'm gonna pay my school loans.
So that's how you save the money to pay your student loans.
Yep. So I paid my school loans. Year two, I saved roughly $100,000.
Wow.
Because I work overtime all the time.
It adds up quickly. I remember the first time you told me this, and I used it from you. That was one thing that also made a major impact on my life. You told me that. I was still working my full-time job, and you were like, hey, I didn't go 2 years like you did, but 6 months, I said, I'm not going to touch my paycheck. And I wasn't looking at what, I was working at AT&T, they were sending money, I wasn't looking at it. Yeah. My business was paying me, and I was living off of it. Before you know it, 6 months, you have 30, 40 days.
It's not that difficult. You just need to find something different, beside it.
And maybe live below your means at that point. Don't go too
whatever
crazy.
you don't need.
Yeah.
You don't need.
But that savings that gives you a push.
I tell you a trick. Where do you know when you make it? When you go anywhere in the country, buying whatever you want,
and never look at prices.
Whenever you look at
the
receipt,
you're gonna say that. Yeah.
You don't look at the receipt.
It's a blessing.
That's a blessing that
but
you made.
You don't get there overnight. There's work that happens for you to get there.
Again, I swear to God, Omar, I used to work from 4 p.m. I took the night shift because also it pays more for those 2 years.
Whatever you're gonna make more, you just sign up for it.
I'll tell you what happened. So I leave the house at 2 p.m. I get to work because in the area where I have my job, you have to wait to find a spot. You pay for the parking lot, whatever. So anyway, I get home after my shift, say 1 a.m. in the morning. My wife's sleeping. I have computers everywhere.
So you were going. Where were you finding these computers?
I buy them anywhere: Facebook, eBay,
Facebook
whatever,
Marketplace.
pawn shops, whatever,
But how do
computers,
you know that
phones,
this one
whatever.
can be fixable? Like you were
Take the
just
risk. My
some risk.
budget was $1,000. That's it.
So you were like, I'll buy whatever for 1,000. If
Yeah.
I lose it, I lose it. If I
You
make
don't
it, I
lose.
make it.
Most likely, if you buy back then, the first iPhone I worked on was an iPhone 2G and 3GS. Nobody was working on them. Then later on I started ordering parts from China,
Mhm.
get them here, then I resold them, and I was making $2-3 from each
What
part.
kind of like screens,
Screens,
stuff that
cases,
breaks?
whatever, batteries, whatever it took.
Were you doing all that from your house? No
Yes,
shop, nothing.
nothing. I used to go to the
Online.
the post office. They give you all the supplies for free, the boxes, the tape, whatever. You open an account with them. So my procedure was I get home at 1 a.m., fix whatever I can. Next morning before I go to work, whatever I sold on eBay, take it to the post office. Then I go to work,
You go to work. Wow.
and then
So
that
you went
was
like that for 2 years. 1
2 years,
year you paid the student loan. The second year you saved up how much?
almost 100,000.
Almost 100K.
Oh my,
Now
yeah.
life changed, right? Or
Now I want to do a business.
now
Right.
you were like, okay, where can I invest that 100K?
Right. So funny story. When I graduated the college, I took a break for 2-3 months. The guy who used, my first business was a convenience store, right?
Okay.
A gas station convenience store. Across the street, there's also another convenience store. So that guy, when I took that break, called me. He said, "Hey, I need your help." I used to manage the whole place with the other guy. I said, "What do you need?" He said, "My daughter's getting married. I want you to help me out. And when I come back, I'm done with this business. I will give it to you. You could run it. You could be a partner, whatever." I said, "I have no money." He said, "No big deal. As long as you do everything, I'll give you profit sharing, whatever." So I did it for a month, 45 days. When he come back, he said, "Thank you." I said, "So you lied to me." I said, "I didn't lie to you, but you need 200, 300,000
To buy this gas station.
to
Convenience store.
to come to
So
become."
in the beginning he was saying, "Hey, come help me," and then
So he
I
used
have
me.
to take
So
and
he
then when I
used.
come back you can
So
take it.
when he told me that,
Yeah, he sold you a dream.
yes, exactly. But that here's the thing: whenever you think that you get uh,
Betrayed.
betrayed, that should give you
Motivation and a push.
motivation. Yes.
Yeah.
So I go across the street. I go to the lady who owned that gas station, and she said, "The owner just went to the bank. If you wait, she's gonna come back in a few minutes."
Okay, so that guy owned the gas station here that used you,
Mm.
and then there's another gas station here. So
Across the street.
you went and asked for the owner of that gas station.
Right. She said she went to the bank. She'll be back here in 10 minutes. Because I
You
work my
waited.
shift.
Yeah, yeah.
I waited. I go to my car. That's when I got my job at the company.
Okay.
I said, "You know what? Hell with it. I'm
That's
done."
when you quit.
That's when I decided to go working for the company and not to buy the gas station because I didn't have no money at the time.
So
I was
I
just
think we jumped a little bit. So you didn't have the 100K.
no
You just before you were working for a company, a guy told you, "Hey, come help me in a gas station.
right,
You can own it."
right.
And then
Lied to me, whatever. I go across the street just out of revenge, whatever. I
you
want
were
to,
like, "I want to buy this one."
yeah. So I said, I want to see what it takes to buy a
But then
gas
you got
station.
in the car, went back to your full time job because you don't have
I
money.
got the call. I got hired for the job. 2 years after, I saved the money.
I see.
The guy I worked for initially at the convenience store bought this station from that lady. It didn't work out for him. Give me a call. He gave me a call. He said, "Hey, Hamza, do you want to buy the gas station?" I said, "Listen, I don't have the money.
You didn't have the 100K yet.
I do, but
But you didn't. Yeah, 100K is not going to get
yeah,
you the gas station.
right." I said, "I don't have the money." He said, "What about you give me a down payment?" And I said, "Let me think about it." Right. So I go there. We made a deal. I said, "Okay, I'll give it
Like
down."
seller finance.
Yes.
Okay.
Omar, the amount of money I put as a target, I didn't even have. He told me, "You pay me 100,000. Your monthly payment would be this much. 6 months from now, you're gonna owe me 50,000. Another 6, you're gonna owe me 50 till
Yeah.
it's paid
He
off."
was selling it for like maybe what, half a mil, quarter mil, something like
Almost $500,000.
almost $500,000. You only had 100K in your
That's
pocket,
it. Yes.
and you structured the deal with him. Is like,
But
I'll give you the 100K.
I have an idea that's nobody ever had in the country yet.
Mhm.
So I said, "Okay, I'll take the deal. Here's 100,000, and I max my credit card again. To buy the groceries, whatever, to pay for the gas, whatever. I already have the experience." I said, "I'm not gonna have it to go to waste. I know how to do all of this." but I never
The
worked.
operations of the
Yes,
place. Yeah.
yeah, everything. I used to do everything for the other people. I made them tons of money.
Because you worked in convenience stores before. But let me just touch on that. So again, you people knew you wanted to buy that gas station at one point, like
Hmm.
because you worked in the convenience stores and stuff like that. So the guy that owns it, he just wants to sell it. So he gave you a call. He said, "Hey, I want to sell it." You came in. You're like, "I have 100K." He wants to sell it for $500,000,
Mm.
and you structure a seller finance deal that you pay him every 6 months,
Someone,
like
yeah.
50K, something like that. And you had no clue if that gas station is going to make it or not,
No.
but you knew you can run it and you can be profitable and you will be able to pay the debt.
What I did day one, I looked at my paycheck with the company. It was 1,500, 157,147. I wrote it on the wall.
That was how much you were getting every 2 weeks from the company you're working for, the corporate
Right.
company.
Yeah. Without overtime, without.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's the minimum I could make. So I said, you know what? If this gas station gonna give me that,
But you work for yourself. Let me do it.
then I'm good.
Okay.
And I paid myself that.
But so you quit at that point. Yeah.
I didn't. I took. I was trying to quit, and I was doing very well at that company. I made them also a lot of money. So the person in charge called me. Said, you know what? We like you so much. We don't want to let you go. What about to give you 1 year without pay?
You took it.
I took it. I said, you know what? I'm going to try this for a year. You always have to have a backup plan.
Right, right. Just in case things didn't work
Right.
out. Don't
So,
just jump in like
yeah.
crazy.
And I did 1 year without pay. I started my venture with this business. I put all my
convenience
energy in
store.
there. Yep.
That was the first business you actually bought. But you still had the side gig. You always had that side gig of
Right.
flipping phones, flipping computers, repairing, selling, like cell phone accessories.
Right.
That did you stop doing that, or that was still
No,
happening?
I wasn't even worried about the gas station no more. The idea was if I wanted to open a computer shop, and my rent would have been almost $1,500, right?
For what? Say,
So just to rent a spot
so
and
you want to
open
rent a spot for the side hustle, the computer
yeah,
repair and the
yeah.
phone repair.
Then this opportunity came. He said, "What about you buy the gas station with the down payment?" I said, "How much is my mortgage?" He said, 2,500 with balloon payments every once in a while.
Yeah.
I said, "Okay, why would I rent a spot? I already have a spot at that time, planning to open it, whatever." So I canceled that. I bought the gas station, and the gas station is very small. Part of it was my computer shop.
I see. So you
So
were
that was the first idea. Nobody ever had this idea. So because a gas
so
station,
gas station / your side hustle,
kind of like Subway,
repair.
Subway in the
Yeah, I see what you
whatever.
mean. Yeah,
Because at that time, everybody have a smartphone. People cannot live without it. So I said, you know what, the gas
yeah, and
station.
it's smart. And instead of you renting a place outside, you're
Yeah.
already paying mortgage here.
My advertisement was limited just to the people who come to the station. Like 300 people come a day, and my logo was fix your phone under 10 minutes. At that time, the iPhone 5C was out.
Yeah.
So easy to fix. Made tons of money from that, man. Tons of money.
So you were now doing the gas station. You're running the gas station, your business, and you have your side hustle in there. You're making the money that you were making at the corporate job. You have a 1 year
Right.
paid unpaid leave, and then after that, how it start?
For 3 years, I didn't make no profit. The money that was coming was barely covering my, my expenses. Kind of like, But again, the money coming from the computer shop was paying for the station. So in my mind, I said, okay, if I break even in 3-4 years, I fix the gas station. Now it has way more profit. The value of the building, I fix everything. I could sell it, and then I could start on my other venture.
Okay. So the gas station wasn't doing very well when you bought it.
No. I spend a lot of time to
You
build
spend
it.
a lot of time, build it up.
Mhm.
What's usually wrong with gas stations? Is it operation mainly,
Well,
or advertising, or
there's no money in gas. There's no money in cigarettes.
no money in gas, no money in cigarettes?
Right.
So where do you make your money as a convenience
Merchandise inside, like
candy,
pop, candy, whatever. So if you don't sell a lot of merchandise, you don't make a lot.
So there's sales that goes in there, like where you
We
place
were
it, or-
selling a lot of cigarettes, lottery, whatever, but there's no money in there, like 5%. So it's barely covering the employees, your overhead fees,
Yeah.
the rent, utility, whatever. But the side business was able to
cover all gives
carry
you
the
time, buys you
carry the weight.
time to get it
Exactly,
grow.
exactly. And then 3-4 years, thank God, man, if you have a vision, if you stay positive, things will come your way.
Yeah.
So one of the things that happened, not even 4 months in, a guy hit $1 million at the gas station.
Your gas station.
Yes. So
so that probably was huge for the gas station.
right. So not even 24 hours, all the news from all over, they come to my station, they taking pictures. I was on the first page. Half the page was me and the clerk who sold.
And the gas station in the back.
It's all over the news. You can look it up.
Wow.
And then boom, man.
So that's crazy that you
This
said that,
that was
because
the quickest advertisement.
God has a way to make things happen
Yes.
for you.
Mhm.
So many
Yep.
times you just give your best, and things will come your way. You don't know where it happened.
Yeah.
They always say the harder I work, the luckier I get.
Yes.
That's a prime example of
It's
that.
just basic mathematics and statistics. Even older people, they tell you early birds get the worms.
Yeah.
If somebody wake up at 6 a.m., I mean, if you do the math from 6, let's say till 8 p.m., they're up for 14 hours, right? Their chances to meet other people, the chances to have opportunity, business deals, whatever it is,
Double somebody
even if you are an
rolling in
Uber
and out.
driver, whatever it
Yeah.
is, and somebody wake up at 11,
Big
and by
difference.
the time they go to work, it's 1 p.m., whatever. I mean, you cut your life in half. Your chances is 50% out.
Yeah, for
You're
sure.
only out in the public or in the opportunity for only 8 hours a day, where the
Wow.
other person is 14.
So going from now, the gas station is doing well. Your side business is still doing well.
Yep.
You're making. Are you now at that point that the gas station is fixed? Are you making more money than your full time job after a couple of years, or no?
A year goes by, human resources call me. Do you want the job?
Okay.
That was one of the toughest decisions for me. At that time, my accountant already had the math for me. I'm making more than 100,000
A year. You
a
were
year.
making more than
I'm busting my
100,000.
ass, yeah, but I'm making more than 100,000. Yes.
Were you were making 3K a month in that other job? So you weren't making 100K at the corporate job. You were making less, maybe.
If no, when my overtime and differential and all of that.
It got you to 100.
Mhm.
Okay, so you were making 100. Now
And
you're
by the
making
way,
way
when
more.
when I cashed out 100,000, I cashed out my 401k too.
Okay.
I cashed out
So you
everything.
don't have any savings, nothing.
I never believed that 401k after 65 pay you money, I could make
Yeah.
more money.
Well, more
Cash.
money now.
Yeah.
Who knows? I'm gonna live to
And it
65.
did work. I took the risk and it did work. And my first car, I never bought a car brand new. My first car, I always went to the Mercedes, and that's the first car I ever
Just
bought.
went right to the Mercedes shop.
Exactly. Yep.
Give me this one.
Yep. That's my first vehicle. Yeah. Before that, my wife has a car, and used car. But in my name, the first vehicle was what I wanted since I was in high school.
That's amazing.
Yep.
And you got that from having the convenience
business.
store and the business, not
Mhm.
working the corporate
It
job.
never stopped, Omar. Like the convenience store, I was doing the side hustle with the computers and fixing phones. I was trying to do things online, eBay, e-commerce, advertisement, investing in real estate, finding a new opportunity, whatever it takes to make
So
money.
you're trying to figure out ways to make
Always,
money.
they always, once your brain in that cycle is like somebody going to the gym. It's never enough.
Yeah, you got
you're
into the
always thinking,
entrepreneur you want to
yep,
create.
yeah,
So now you got that phone call. It was a tough decision, but
Mm.
it doesn't seem like it was a tough decision because you were making a lot more money running your businesses.
Well, there's
what was tough
always
about it?
more headache. When you own a business, you think you have more freedom.
Mhm.
It's the opposite. When you work for
In the beginning,
yeah,
for sure.
when you
Yeah.
work for a company, you clock in, you clock out. See ya, hasta la vista, bye bye.
Yeah.
Right?
Relax,
But
go home, chill.
well, that's the thing. You never relax
When
because
you own a business, you don't ever relax.
either way, when you work for a company, you're always worried about. Okay, I'm done Friday, Monday morning. Oh, I hate this job. I'm gonna go there.
So you're not ready to relax.
You're always like mentally
Yeah, of
stressed,
course.
right? But when in your business, even that you are always stressed, whatever, you're working for something that you own, right?
More meaningful.
So
yeah. You work on your fortune. You work on your legacy.
yeah, and you learn. I never understood why business people are mean. Like in the very beginning, like a lot of people, but over time they change your skin. Like employees, the experience you go through, you get cheated a lot of times. Uh, Unfortunately, after a while, you become somebody different.
Yeah.
You stay humble, but you become different. You become more wise, smarter. You're planning.
Your
But again,
circle gets smaller.
right,
You
right,
don't.
yes.
You don't want to hang out with
It's
people that
kind of
talk
like you
about other
start
people
speaking different
anymore.
language, but the idea is, it happened, and
Yeah, you grow.
You change while you
grow.
didn't recognize that you changed, right?
Yeah.
And
It's a
that
big growth.
even when I met you, Omar, I met Omar. When did I
I
meet
think 2019.
you?
Was
And
it?
there's a funny story about how I met you too.
Yeah.
So without
We haven't gotten to that side yet.
So when I was in the gas station and whatever, that year gap, I lost my insurance.
Because you love the company.
Right.
You made the decision. I'm going to leave the company.
Business owner, I have to buy my own insurance. So I called, I said, what, it would be nice if I work for a company, local, not far away, get health insurance again, and run the business. I could do that. So anyway, I called my insurance company. I said, I want to buy the same insurance. Now I own a business. I said, well, your insurance is $2,800 a piece. Like for me, $2,800, for my wife, $2,800 a month.
Wow.
That's how much that company was paying for me. It's a lot of. I can't remember 28 for both of us or just.
Yeah, something.
But anyway,
it was expensive.
And you cannot buy. because your income does not
support
that. So you have to go to a broker, whatever. So I end up going to UPMC broker. We got insurance. But the idea is, you know what? Let me find a job
that can at least get me insurance.
Insurance, me
and I
or
can
my
do
wife.
it part-time or something.
Exactly, yeah. Well, part time. I don't know at the time that part time will not give you insurance. But
Yeah.
anyway, I go to this company. I apply for the job. They didn't give me the job, even though I was very qualified. Then I look up the company name and I find out they do franchise.
Yeah.
So
That company was AT&T that I worked for. You know what I love about your story is, and we're gonna get there. It's like, okay, you're not gonna give me that. I'm gonna go and own it.
Right, exactly.
Oh, you're not gonna give me. You're
So-
not gonna give me the gas
so
station.
fun-
You lied to me about the gas station. I'm gonna open the gas station.
Well, that's why
across
I
the
bought
street.
that
I'm gonna own
station.
the gas station next street.
And you know, God is good, right? That opportunity, whatever you know, always wait for the right time.
If you take it personally, yeah, like
well, you take it personal, but I don't have revenge. But if the opportunity come for me to take my revenge, I'll take it.
Yeah.
But I don't like think about it 24 hours.
yeah.
So the idea is I left and I moved to a different city. Then the guy called me. He said, "Hey, I bought that gas station across the street from whatever."
that one. Yeah.
I said, "Okay, what's going on?" He says, "It's not working out. Would you buy it?" I said, "Sure." That gas station, even if it's failing, I want to buy it.
Yeah.
But at that
It
time,
meant something to you.
yeah, it meant something. But I wasn't planning to buy it. But I was at that time I was looking for a spot to open a computer shop and
So it worked out
paying
perfectly.
$1,500 in rent, or I could own something and paying
And pay
$2,500 in mortgage.
and you have
an asset, because
plus an asset
rent will
too.
never come back to you.
you have a chance when you have a business is to make something. You can force appreciation, grow the business. Now it's
Exactly.
worth a lot more. And you sold the gas station.
I
We'll
sold
get
it
into that.
last year, and I made
a lot more than what you bought it for.
Yeah, we're
Right.
not gonna say that number, but it was good.
For IRS purposes. But
No,
yeah.
well, no. I listen. I pay. That's something I learned. I learned 1031 exchange after I
Yeah.
did it. I made a huge mistake, by the way. I could have
Oh,
saved
you could've.
100,000.
Yeah.
No, everything was legit. But the idea, if I knew about the 1031, because
Yeah.
I sold the station and they bought another business, but the timing, that's when I called you. Remember?
Yep.
You should buy the assets and then the time frame and whatever. But I
You
did
have.
But
I
that-
can't remember how many days.
90 days.
90 days.
Oh no, 45 days to find it, and then I think
90 days to close, something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
1031 exchange.
But that, not knowing that, cost me 100,000.
And what is 1031 exchange? It allows you to defer the taxes. So let's say you own a business or a restaurant or a real estate, and you sold it. The profit you made, you don't have to pay capital gains if you roll that money into a new asset or a new investment.
Exactly, and a lot of people do that, but it has to be in a
In
certain
a certain
way.
amount of time, yeah.
And you have to find the property you're purchasing before you sell this one.
Yeah.
But
But
again,
back to the point. So you went to apply for this company to get a insurance. They said no, you're not hired.
well, that's my intention, to get the job, get
And get
the and get insurance. That's the
Plus, it's a cell phone company. You're in the cell phone
right.
field.
Yeah, it's in my field. I know how to do it, whatever. So they said no. I said I go home. I apply for to become
A franchise.
franchise for it. 2014, 2015. Nobody answered me. 2016, 2017, 2018. Your boss
Yeah, at
Called
that
me.
time.
called me.
Not my boss anymore.
Yeah, but that's how I met you.
Yeah.
So he gave me a call. He said we are interested. Sign the NDA. I'm gonna come over. Whatever. I like that guy. He was cool.
Yeah.
So
It was cool. So they call you. They said, okay, you're interested in opening a franchise
yes.
for AT&T, a retail store. So you
Like
start
AT&T.
that.
So anyway, he came. We talked, whatever, and it was a long process, a lot of paperwork, and then we were talking. And he said one of the guys that work for me, my area manager, his name is Omar. I said, where is he from? He said Egypt. And then when he gave me your number, and that's when I met you. But the idea, I opened, the guy who interviewed me and told me no at the time became a bank manager across the street from my first location.
Hmm.
He came over to ask him for my business. I'm looking at this guy. I said, I've seen you before. Did you used to work for such and such? I said, yeah. I said, well, you never gave me a job. I'm not going to give you my business.
He came to.
When the business opened in the plaza,
Yeah.
the bank come to see if you want to open a bank account.
Oh, I see. So
And
he
it
came
just
trying
happened that bank manager
to be the same guy that interviewed you when
and
you were looking for a job and say no. So you were
never
like,
gave me
no,
the
I'm not
job.
giving you my business now.
And then all the guys who used to work in that spot, most of them became my employees later on.
Wow.
Yep.
And the business grew, took off to a lot more. And
Then, as I
got
said,
in retail.
always there is the challenge. A lot of people, they say COVID, but before that, as I told you, there's always, when you think you hit rock bottom, that's when you get up and become stronger. broken gadget, which is this computer shop, it became too busy. I don't have enough spot in the gas station. I took it and they moved it to
its own place.
yeah. So I have broken gadget. I have the gas station.
And you have the stores,
This,
the cell phone
yep.
stores. Yeah, the
And
AT&T
my
stores.
schedule was crazy, 4 a.m. till midnight, whatever. Because again, remember 3 months when I told you I make a decision, I want to give United States a chance and see whatever. Once I put my mind on it, I want to finish my degree. I want to get a job. I want to own a business. I want to have a nice house. So I sacrificed a lot for it, right?
Yeah.
As we say, United States give you the opportunity, give you money, but it takes a lot of things in return. Your age, your health, your time, your family. I didn't visit my family for the longest time. You know, you remember, you know how it is overseas. The gathering, the family, the food, all of that. We didn't have none of that. So nothing is free. Your knees hurt, your back hurts, you're bald, you know, your
Yeah, it
gray
definitely
hair,
adds stress
your
to it.
age, right?
It doesn't happen overnight to build a business and all that.
And it's
You
not
gotta
easy.
pay
It's
for
not
it.
easy.
But at the same time, too, if you don't own a business and you just work to the rest of your life, you will still have, like, you will still be stressed and poor. So would you rather be stressed and rich or stressed and poor?
So the idea, and this is actually, so when I had the gas station, I used to have headache from the point they open 6 a.m. till midnight. We used to open 18 hours a day. Then I had the computer shop. I said, you know what? Doesn't matter if I have one employee or two or three, one business or two. I'm gonna have at least 8 hours headache anyway.
Yeah, I agree. That's a very good point.
So I said, hell with it. I'm gonna do everything. I'm gonna have.
Okay, I got a few questions
I'm
about
gonna
that.
have a headache. So headache and worth it.
Yeah,
Headache and
better
not
than
worth
headache
it.
and not worth it.
No.
No need. So, and I do that even with clients now. Like, some clients will come in, or somebody that would want to be like, hey, let's work this deal together. And I'll look at the deal. The deal might make money. Not enough money for the headache that I'm going to work with the client. I don't want them.
But to get to that point, because your
It takes
time is your
yeah.
most valuable asset. The older you get, you, as I told you, become wiser how to make decisions. Like I used to, wait in a customer, and I want to help them.
Yeah.
And one day, and I learned another thing from a guy. So when I opened the computer shop, yes, I love what I was doing, right? And I'm spending a lot of time with a lot of people, like 2-3 hours, and making 40-50 bucks. So this guy came to fix electric issue at the station, and everybody left. He said, who pays you? I said, nobody. He said, you fucking yourself, man.
He's telling you that?
Yeah. He said, who pays you? I said, nobody. He said, you fucking yourself, man. I said, what do you mean? I said, you just wasted 3 hours on one customer and make 50 bucks. I said, yeah. He said, every hour must count. If you're here 8 hours away from your family, every hour should count. Because nobody pays you. You pay yourself.
Yeah.
And that changed my mindset. So my goal, every hour I want to make $250. And that's my goal. And I could do that. So if a customer comes for fixing their phones, I don't chat with them.
Yep.
What is the issue? Thank you. Come back in half an hour. Time is money.
And time is more important than money, because you can always make money, but you can always make.
Yeah, because that day will never
always
come
make
back,
time
but
back.
your obligations
Yeah.
are going to stay the same. Your rent's going to be the same. Your family needs going to be the same.
So you
But
get
that
some
day
money.
will never come back.
Yeah. So
So
back
that-
on some few things I got to ask you about.
Ask Omar.
Now,
ask.
Going through all that, at that point, you went and then you got the business, you started the AT&T, life changed drastically. Was it worth it staying than going back to Jordan? If you had to go
How old are you, Omar?
32.
Everything you know about life changed after age 40, 41. And I think a lot of people who, see, you don't want to get so focused in just making money. That's, if I tell anybody that advice, it's the biggest mistake you can make.
So you feel like
You have to balance.
because you're what, Hamzah? 42?
43.
43. You
Mhm.
feel like you've put a lot of time focusing on one part of your life, which is make money, and you might have dropped other parts.
Well, there's a difference between pleasure and happiness.
Mm-hmm.
So, me and you maybe have the same mindset. You think, okay, this is a challenge. We love challenges. You overcome it. Then, kind of like being an addict. Now you lose that excitement. Then you bring another challenge. Yeah. Then another challenge. Then another challenge.
You talking in business or life?
In business, like, when you open a business and you think it's about to fail, and you just work.
It's hustle. You see it growing in front of you.
And you think you're hitting rock bottom, and then
you make it, it booms.
Yep.
There's a great feeling for that.
That enjoyment goes away. because
Once you
okay,
start making well,
right, then now you're gonna do something
then
different,
you go to a bigger challenge.
a different location,
Yeah,
different business adventure, whatever.
yeah.
But the idea is, before you know it, boom, you are 40, 42, 43. Okay, now how much time did I spend in myself? Like, going to the gym, watching my weight, eating healthy, enjoy my life, travel, uh, enjoy. Like, I go overseas, man. A couple of months ago, most of my nephews, they're 20, 25 years old now. I don't I don't know them. There's
You
so
feel like a
there's so
lot.
much in life besides just focusing on your dream, right? But
But it can
but
be
for
part
the
of your dream. Your dream
but
shouldn't
see,
be
for the,
only
for the 20 years,
financial.
and again, it's subjective to people. What made me happy all this time is the ability for me to succeed and help others. Me be able to help others, my family members, my friends, anybody that's close to me or they mean something to me. The ability to help them gave me the pleasure.
Yeah, as a man, I feel that's the
Right.
greatest pleasure is changing people you
But a lot
love's
of people,
life.
they forget that you did it. So after 10, 15 years, oh, you didn't do nothing for me. Then you said, oh, fuck, now who's going to bring those years back to me? Right?
So you
So
regret maybe giving to some people who didn't.
not to be, giving so much, teach people how to take advantage from you. Don't be so generous. Focus on yourself. Love yourself first before you love others. Give everything with balance. And never make a decision when you're so happy. And never make a decision when you are so angry. It's the same thing.
Emotion. So you gotta be emotion
If you're
intelligent.
extremely mad, don't make a
Yeah,
decision. If you're extremely happy, do
yeah.
not make a decision, because most likely you're not making the right decisions, because your emotion are making that decision. But the idea is, if anything I will change, no, I don't regret
Staying or
staying. I would have just maybe, but again, you learn things in life.
for people who are like maybe still like 22 watching that or 21, what would you
Do
say
everything I told you, but don't forget about yourself.
in the
Oh,
process?
in the process, yeah,
Because that's a very good one because it never ends. You'll never have all the money.
never
And I
enough.
told that to myself. Okay, because when I first started making, I remember like, okay, starting the business, okay, I'm making 6K, 7K,
Mhm.
8K, 10K. I was like, oh, can I keep going? 15K. But then I realized, oh, there's time that's going to go into that.
Right.
So I started, okay, I need to hire people because the best thing you can do once your business start doing is replace yourself with other people so you can buy more time. And
Right.
then you can choose how to spend that time.
Right.
If you want to travel, you
Time
can
is the
travel.
most valuable
If you
asset.
want to, spend it with your family, if you want to do this and
Yep.
still grow,
Freedom.
freedom.
Yep.
You're not getting into business to
If
make
you
money.
get
You're in
so
business
involved,
to get free.
you
Be free.
basically you taking that freedom from yourself.
Yeah.
Because
You're pretty much working a job at that point.
yeah, exactly. Because when you open a business and there is a deadline and there's people who need to get paid and whatever,
Yeah, payroll.
you put that
stress on you.
exactly. You cannot fail.
Yeah.
Failing is not an option.
So one big lesson would be like, yes, work hard, but think of time.
Exactly.
Do not get, because it's so easy to get drawn into, let me make a
no
million.
doubt.
Okay,
Yep.
guess what? When you make a million, somebody else have a billion. When you make a billion, there's somebody
Listen,
else
you're
that
gonna
has
sleep.
that. You
It
will
doesn't
never
matter
make
if you
it.
make 100,000, 200. Now, having a lot of money or having enough money give you the same stress as if you would have no money.
You think so?
Every,
I would disagree.
I
Because I've had no money and I've had money,
listen,
and there's a
money will
big
make you
difference.
comfortable. It's not gonna make you happy. Make you comfortable.
Exactly. I don't think anything really external can make you happy. I think you gotta be happy personally.
Mhm.
Money will just help you become more. Money is a tool, so you can help everybody around you. You can get
Yeah,
freedom.
no doubt about that. But the idea is, let's say if you're making 100,000 a year, 200, a million, right, and somebody else making 10, right? Again, it's subjective how what make you, but there's no different in your lifestyle. You're gonna dress the same, you're gonna sleep the same, you're gonna smell the same air, you're gonna eat the same food, right?
No, if you're making a million and you're making $10,000, you're gonna eat different food.
Right, but okay,
ride different cars.
let's say
You were driving a used car and now you're driving a brand
okay,
new
let's say you're
Mercedes.
making a million a year and
You
somebody
lived in a small rental house.
right,
Now you live in a
fine,
nice house with a pool.
fine,
So there's a big difference with money.
fine.
So
Let's say,
your lifestyle can elevate if you choose to,
but at
right?
some point, it doesn't matter how much more you make.
I think what you're trying to say is like, okay, they both gonna go. They both have 24 hours in
Right.
the day. They both have the same lifespan.
They're all gonna have an iPhone. They're all gonna sleep in the same bed. I mean, if you have $1 million, I mean, the most expensive bed, let's say, unless if now you want to,
Right. I guess when it depends on your goal.
right.
What's
But
your
again,
goals?
there's not enough. Like, again, there's a difference between pleasure and happiness. Once you're comfortable and you go to a convenience store or a department store, or go on Amazon, whatever, you buy and you're not looking at the receipt and just click, 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 and you pay it, credit card, whatever, you're comfortable. That's it, done. So why would I make more? right? At some point,
So what do you say
and
with
what I'm saying, like,
if you're not growing, you're dying? Would you believe in that? If you're not growing in your business, you're dying? I've heard that so many
if you
times.
want the
Would you
business
agree?
to be your focus of your life, yes, but I don't think a lot of people, me personally, I don't think just money and making money is going to be the end goal of anybody,
No, but part of it, right?
Yeah,
So would you do you
you
think
want to balance that.
you can, but it can be
Make,
balanced. You can
make,
still grow the business,
right.
and like as an example, right now I know I'm working a little bit more than I want to,
Yeah,
right? But why? Because I'm trying to double what we did last year.
right,
Now I know, okay, what on what price? I ask myself,
right.
is it taken away from my, my mental capacity? Is it taking away my time? Am I not able to travel, see my family? If these the answer, it's not worth it for me to grow.
So that's
But
what
if you're
I
doing
was
it for
saying a minute
fun,
ago.
or hey, happen
Yeah,
to happen, it
at
doesn't
some
happen.
point you want to balance between yourself, the business,
Family,
and your life.
health, yeah,
You want to do it smart, because again, one thing is not reversible.
time.
When time and age, if you're 40, you never be 40 again. If you
So if
20,
you had to go back a little bit, you would have focused
balance more.
balanced more.
Yep,
That's a very good
yep,
one, and
yep,
I feel like you always told me that. Hey, watch out, because you
yeah.
would see me get so drawn.
Because you can't help it. Depending
See,
on your
once you
mindset,
taste it, you just yeah,
depending on your mindset, if you don't want to fail, you put a challenge, and you want, sometimes, some of my businesses, I go away for a month, working 12, 13, 14, 15 hours. I forget to eat. I'm
yeah,
just focusing. I have to get this done, which is good, but at what cost,
yeah. I see what you mean.
right?
What price are you paying?
Exactly. Okay, you made the money, fine. What now?
Yeah, so
You're gonna do it
have a
again?
purpose more and
Yes,
stuff like that.
you have to balance
Yeah,
what means to you. I would love to travel. I would love to spend more time with my son. I would love to go overseas more. You know, uh, you know, and again, as I told you, when I start my second business, and my goal was to retire at 40, right?
but you can retire. You just choose not to, or
Not after what happened with COVID. And again,
something came and it changes your
all the
plan a little
business,
bit.
right now is struggle with employees and staffing and finding the right people and
You're
all of
also
that.
in a business that requires a lot of like labor
It's
from
Yeah,
like
yeah, it's customer facing
customer
business. Yeah,
facing, so it's a little bit
it
different
cannot be
challenges.
passive without you having
Yeah,
the
it's
right
kind of
people.
like restaurants almost, which are
Yeah, it's very challenging,
it's
right?
very very
Very
challenging. I
challenging.
think this is why the computer shop does well.
But
I know
again,
you
I
said
have
the
to
gas
be here,
station. Yeah,
right? If I'm not here, I don't make the money, right?
yeah.
So you need, at this point, I'm
So if
not.
you go back, yeah, that's a great, very good one. If you would
Sorry.
go back, you would do something different than this business is what you know, or you
If
would
I
sell
knew
them. I know
COVID,
you're selling some
yeah,
too
if
and
I
stuff.
knew COVID would hurt this kind of business this way, I will not do it. I will not
Yeah,
do anything that's
that
require,
changed a little bit.
because you need employees.
What would you do? Some
Uh,
ideas.
right now, I'm working anything related to AI. Anything AI gonna take over, man, quicker than you think.
Yeah.
A lot of jobs gonna
Because
be
nobody
obsolete.
now says ask Google anymore. Everybody's like ask ChatGPT, ask AI.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
don't ask Google anymore.
AI.
It's just taking over Google. I feel
If I
like.
want to give you like what I think, how smartphones, when the first iPhone killed everything else.
Yeah, AI is gonna kill
Now
everything.
Apple, look how many industries gone. You
Yeah,
know, no CDs, right? No cameras, no banks. Apple Pay, whatever. No credit cards. What else?
like the
You
Visa
name
card.
it.
Yeah,
Apps. So you see, in 10 years' time, let's say 2007 till now, what? How many years? 2017, 10, not even 15, 20 years, right?
yeah.
In 5 years' time, AI gonna replace a lot of things that require people and stuff. It's gonna have higher impact than how smartphones change our life. Same thing for social media. How did it change our life in the last 10 years? What I'm thinking, like AI, like, let's say, for example, in your field, like, I want to do an app, right? Back in the day, you want to design
You have to get
a logo, whatever. I do the logo in 20 seconds, man,
yeah. Just put it on AI. Just ask
and I
AI to
choose
do it
whatever
for
I
you.
want.
Video editing, everything too.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Website, whatever,
Yeah.
hiring people.
So you gotta definitely focus on the technology. It always changes. So another very important question: do you think the American dream is still possible nowadays?
Do you always ask that question? You gotta be smart. It's not as easy as it used to be. Like,
It's very competitive. I mean, it's always, I think,
and you
competitive.
have to work on yourself. Like, you have to shift with whatever is happening right now. Like, you cannot go convenience stores. You cannot do, like, I'm gonna work in Uber and make a lot of money. Oh, that's the American dream. not gonna work. But if you do the work in the United States, that's what's different. It's a fair country. It give you the opportunity, it give you the chance, and if you do work hard, you get rewarded, no matter what you do. And if you cannot make it in the United States, you're not going to make it anywhere else.
Yeah.
Even if you want to work in technology, with what I just mentioned, it's much easier to do it here than doing it anywhere else.
Yep, for
Yep.
sure.
Yep.